Hi guys, we're going to be working today on using area and perimeter to solve word problems. We're going to talk about some common errors that people make when solving area and perimeter problems. We're going to talk about when in your outside of the classroom life you would actually use area and perimeter. And we're going to solve two problems today using our problem solving steps, either the cubes or the 7 steps, that Miss Ayala's classroom uses. So let's start today with our goal. I can solve an area or perimeter problem using a formula. Remembering that perimeter is the distance around a shape, and what you do to find the perimeter is adding up all the sides. If you have a 4-sided shape, you're going to be adding up 4 numbers. If you have a 3-sided shape, we can make 3. You'll be adding up 3 numbers. If you have a 17-sided shape, you would be adding up 17 numbers. It all depends on how many sides you have. And then remembering that area is the space inside the shape, and the formula for the area of a rectangular square is length times width equals area. There are different area formulas depending on the shape, but in 4th grade, we worry about rectangles and squares. So let's start with perimeter. Some real life examples of when you would use perimeter. If you need a fence in an area or find the distance around a shape. If I wanted to put a border on a quilt or a bulletin board or a tablecloth, I would find the perimeter. If I was building the frame to go around a picture, I would need to find the perimeter. If I was building boxes, like when I built my garden bed this last couple weeks, I needed to find the perimeter of my space so I knew how big I could build it. Those are some times you might really use perimeter outside of the classroom. Here is our first problem. Miss Bentley was having trouble with bunnies getting into her garden. They keep eating all the tops off my carrots. She decided to build a fence around it. How much fencing does she need if her garden is 6 feet by 5 feet? Okay, so we read the problem all the way through. We're going to go back and circle our important data. I know that 6 by 5 feet is really important. I need it to go all the way around it, not just part of it, but all 4 sides of my rectangular garden. And then I'm going to go and underline the question. How much fencing does she need if her garden is 6 feet by 5 feet? I'm going to be looking for keywords that help me know what operation I'm going to be using to solve. When I see that around it, that helps me know, oh, that's a keyword. That's telling me perimeter. That's a keyword for perimeter, is going around a shape. And then I'm going to choose a strategy to solve. I told you guys last time, or maybe not last time, but a couple times ago, I am a visual learner. I need to draw things in order to see them. So I'm going to draw my garden bed. I know that one side is 6 feet and one side's 5, so I'm going to label the longer side 6 feet and the shorter side 5 feet. Okay. And now I'm going to do a strategy to solve the problem. Okay. So a real common error with perimeter is that people will just go and add 6 and 5 and get 11 and be like, I'm done. There are no 2-sided shapes in this world. Not possible. So what might help is when you're drawing your picture is to label all of the sides. For mine, I have 5 sides. So I'm going to label, or I have 4 sides. So I'm going to label all of my 4 sides. I was writing the number 5 when I said that. So a common error is adding up only 2 sides. Because when you read the problem, you just see 6 by 5 and you're like, oh, 6 by 5. Oh, that's 11. Easy. No, we have a 4-sided shape, so we have to add up 4 numbers. I like to take the numbers that are common, 6 and 6, and add those first. That gets me 12, and 5 and 5. That gives me 10. I can easily get my answer of 22. Make sure you have a label, feet. So I can see my answer for the perimeter of my garden is 22 feet. I can check in with my question. How much fencing does she need to build her garden? 22 feet seems like a reasonable answer. It makes sense with the information that I have. If I got 11, that's not very big. I would know, since it's my garden, that that's not enough to go all the way, all four sides of my garden. I labeled my answer with my feet. So I've done all of my steps of my problem-solving method. All right, so let's move on to area. Remembering area is the inside of a shape. You want to use length times width to find the area of a rectangle or a square. And that's all we're going to worry about in 4th grade. Some real-life examples of when I've used area as an adult. When I'm buying carpet or I'm buying a rug for a room. Sometimes when I'm wrapping a present to make sure I get enough wrapping paper, I'll get that out. If I want to figure out exactly how much property I have that my house is on, I would use area. Here's an area problem from Ms. Schultz's life. Ms. Schultz needed a new classroom rug. The new rug is 8 feet by 4 feet. What is the area of the new rug? So I read the problem all the way through. Now I'm going to circle my important information. 6 feet by 4 feet. I'm going to underline my question. What is the area of the rug? I know it's the question because it has a question mark. I'm looking for keywords. That's going to help me determine what operation. Area tells me automatically that I am multiplying. Okay, now I'm choosing a strategy. Again, visual learner here. I'm going to draw it. Here's my 8-foot rug by 4 feet. I know my operation is multiplication to figure out what is the area of the inside of the shape. So 8 times 4. Well, I know 8 times 8 is 16. 16 plus 16 is 32. So 32. Am I done? You should be yelling at your computer screen right now. No, you forgot to label it. Feet squared. Okay, when we do area, we always do the squared. Feet squared, not just feet. Okay, so got my equation, got my answer, got my label, made sure I did feet squared instead of just feet for area. Those are 2 examples of when you might use perimeter and area in your real life. Remember, perimeter, add up all the sides. Don't fall into that common error of just adding up 2 sides because you just see 2 numbers. Draw yourself a picture to help you. And then area, multiplying the length times the width. Getting your answer and making sure you write feet squared or inches squared or centimeter square, whatever your unit of measurement is. And then squared, which is just that little 2. Make it go closer. There you go. See? 32 feet. Squared. So that 2, you don't need to circle it. I just did that to draw attention to it. But that little 2 above the foot helps you know that it's squared and that we're talking about area and not perimeter. Hope this helps. Make sure you can always watch it again if you have any questions. I will also attach a picture of this to the work today, so that way you can review it there too.